Welcome to the Future Toolbox with me, Mark, and Jules, the creators. With exam season upon us, we've hosted a series of webinars to help students who are studying for exams. Whether you're in school sitting GCSEs, sixth form or college perhaps doing A-levels, or at university, these tools will help. Here's a recording of part 1 for this mini-series entitled How to Eliminate Exam Stress. We hope it helps. Hey, welcome everybody. Jules.
That's me.
And Mark, creators of the multi-award winning Future Toolbox here.
Yes, and welcome to the first of 3 specific webinars to help you if you are currently preparing for your exams.
And we're really excited for webinar number 1, aren't we?
Yes.
Yes. So today's webinar is entitled How to Eliminate Exam Stress.
And I'm sure there's a few of you at the moment feeling a little bit stressed by the daunting prospect of your upcoming exams. So what we're going to do over the next sort of 20 minutes is just go through a few basic tools and tips to help you calm those nerves, and just also be aware that any tools or tips that we give you, whether it be for this or whatever, these are proven ones. These work. So yeah, we haven't just sat here half an hour ago and made them up.
No, as Jules says, we've been working with teens for over 25 years now, and we've met plenty of people that are going through this stressful exam period. So whether you're a parent, a teacher, a student, a carer, you are going through a time of life which can be quite difficult. Now, we're going to talk about teens quite a bit today because these are the guys that are putting the work in, and these are the guys who are feeling the pain. And if you're a parent or a teacher or a carer, then you've got to be there to help and pick these people up. So,
and I'm sure you're feeling the pain as well. So these can help you to help your son or daughter that is going through this process at the moment.
Yeah. So just a little summary of what we're going to talk about. We've got the secrets to self-care, because if you look after yourself, then it makes the process a bit easier,
Absolutely.
doesn't it? We're also going to look at a few tips and tools around getting organised and also creating some good habits.
Yeah.
Everything we do is around growth mindset. So we want you to believe that you can do it and not think that you can't do it. What goes with self-care is also helping you to be able to switch off and relax, because you don't want to be thinking 24 hours a day, revision, revision, revision. You're probably quite bored of the word now if you're a teenager and you're in year 11. Now, I just mentioned year 11. You could be a student in sixth form doing your exams.
You could be getting ready for your A-levels.
Yeah, and I know that some people got in touch with us and said, is this for adult education? And yes, of course it is, because wherever you have an exam, there's a bit of stress behind it, isn't there?
There is. I mean, the exam, even the word, creates stress, doesn't it? When you hear it and you think, oh, I'm going to be tested. And it creates that stress.
So should we start about getting organised? Because we've had to get organised today for this webinar, haven't we? And
yes, yeah.
we thought we wouldn't just pop on 10 minutes before and wing it. How do we get organised?
As with everything, getting organised is really key, because if you're organised, your mind feels organised, then immediately you feel that little bit calmer. What we generally say, particularly at this moment in time when your exams are coming up, picture them as almost like a little time-bound project. So if it's 60 days till your exams, then this is your 60-day challenge.
If it's 30 days, it's your 30-day challenge.
Absolutely.
It's 10 days, it's your 10-day challenge.
So then you can get organised. Say, right, this is what I need to do. I've got this amount of time to do it in. So you've got a definite end and beginning point.
So another little tip I'm just going to share with you is just to plan your exams in advance. Now, it's really, really hard to know exactly what questions you're going to get asked, but sometimes you can get a good idea by talking to teachers or tutors or lecturers and find out what's generally going to be in the exam. If you've got a question that's worth 1 mark, think that the 1 mark is the one that can make the big difference. So all the little things make the big differences. And then break your revision down into small bite-sized chunks. Instead of trying to do all your revision all in one go, put it into small bite-sized chunks. So think, right, I'm going to maybe work on this little bit for 10 minutes whilst I've got a break or whilst I'm eating my lunch or whatever best works for you.
Yes, absolutely. There's some good tips there. But when you're organising yourself, I think it's a really good idea to schedule in some free time as well to unwind. if you've scheduled that in, that you make sure that you do it. You almost like protect that time and do it, because you can't work all day every day, so you do need to put those little break times in, and rest as well. Really important.
I like that word, protect time.
Protect
That's
your time.
really, really
it's
cool.
True,
that is,
though,
yeah.
because what happens is, you will schedule that time in, and then somebody will say something, or something will happen. You think, oh yeah, okay, and then that time's gone, and that's what you'd given yourself. So yeah, and then as well, when you're sort of organising your time or getting ready for your exams, if you kind of do go off a little bit schedule on that day, don't panic. Go to bed and think, okay, that's absolutely fine. Tomorrow is another day.
I'm an expert at going off track, aren't I?
Very much so.
I get easily distracted by nice shiny things. So
Yeah.
guys, you are not alone there.
No.
So if you're organised, then that creates a good habit, which is really our second section, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, we talk about habits a lot and how habits can really, really help you to achieve what it is that you're trying to do. Yeah, our first big habit that we think you should do, and I just spoke about it, about scheduling time to unwind.
Protecting time.
Protecting
that time.
But when you're actually doing your studying and your revision, please do take some more frequent breaks. It's a given, isn't it, by psychologists, that we can only concentrate properly for around 20 to 30 minutes. And there's a technique that you can use called, is it Pomodoro?
The Pomodoro tomato technique.
And this will help you to take those regular breaks. Equally, make sure that if you're studying and you're working at a desk, get away from the desk. Just either go and pour yourself a glass of water, possibly make a cup of tea.
Cup of tea solves everything.
But yeah, or maybe just go for a walk, even if it's just a wander around the garden.
Just in case you didn't know, Pomodoro is Italian for tomato, and you would have a timer that you would have in your kitchen. It'd be shaped like a tomato, and you could set it for a certain amount of time. So the Pomodoro technique is to set your timer. You can do this on your phone as well, as long as you can set the timer on your phone and put it to one side and not get distracted by it. So set your timer for 20 minutes, and then you know that when that alarm goes off, you have to stop. Now, what might happen is you might get to the 20-minute timer, the alarm goes off, you silence it and think, do you know what, I'm in the zone. I'm really, really good at concentrating here. The Pomodoro technique is absolutely brilliant. But I'm going to keep on the topic of tomatoes.
You're going to keep on the topic
I'm going to keep on the topic of tomatoes.
Actually, yeah.
And just talk about healthy eating.
It's a good topic, because one of the things while you're doing your revision that is really, really key is keeping your blood sugar level good. So not eating lots of sweets and then spiking with your energy. That's not going to help you, because you'll be like, and then,
You can't eat those Haribo cherries and say that's one of my 5 a day, can you? Any of your fruit and veg is pretty good.
Yeah, multigrain bread or sourdough bread. Porridge for breakfast is a really good one.
Yeah, nuts as well.
Yeah, we're just saying about food and keeping your blood sugar level good. Equally, drinking lots of water will help you to keep hydrated. And people often underestimate how important and how good it makes you feel when you are hydrated. It gives you a great clarity and a great vision, and great for when you're having to really focus and study, isn't it?
Absolutely. And then the last one I'm going to chuck in there is a bit of sleep. Now, we talk to teenagers who love sleeping. They love sleeping in the day when they should be at school. And they like staying up all night, which is really, really random. But joking aside there, it's about getting regular sleep and regulating your body clock. Now, this is really important around exam time. So studies show that we need between 8 and 10 hours sleep per night. And to regulate your body clock, you need to go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time for 7 days a week. So weekends are in your body clock. Say you need to go to bed at 10 o'clock in order to get up at, let's say, 6 o'clock in the morning to get 8 hours sleep. That would be great. But then if you go to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning on, say, Friday night, Saturday morning, and have a lay until midday, your body clock is now out of sync. So you need to sync your body clock over 7 days, and definitely do this around exam time. This is now the time, and the key time, if you're doing GCSEs or A-levels or end of year exams, to start regulating your body clock now, because it takes a good number of days to get your body clock regulated. Give it at least a week, I would.
Yes. Hydration, sleep, Fantastic stuff. But another great tip is to think and work out when and where you work best. Because, you know, not everybody's a morning person. I am a morning person. I get up and I'm like full of energy and yeah, let's go. Mid-afternoon, I'm like, oh, crash. But not everybody's the same. Work out when you actually working at your best. And if that happens to be between, 5 and 8 o'clock, that's when you do your studying, isn't it? That's when you do your work.
It is.
But also think about where you're going to do it. Are you more productive if you go to a library, for example?
Or get rid of distractions.
Yeah, just get rid of distractions. Or are you more productive if you're studying, a study buddy or something?
Yeah.
But find out what's good for you and see what works.
Can we go to the shed yet?
Yeah.
Let's go to the shed.
On.
Okay, I have a little acronym for you. The acronym is SHED, so SHED. Now, a very, very quick exercise for you to do here. If you've got a pen handy, just write down the letters SHED, SHED. S stands for sleep, H stands for hydration, E is for exercise, and D is for diet. Absolutely. And what you want to do is rate those out of 10. So if your body clock is regulated, you're getting 8 to 10 hours sleep a night and you have enough energy to get through the day without feeling the need to nap at certain points because you've stayed up all night or whatever, you can give yourself a 10 on that. Not everybody's going to give themselves a 10 because 10 is quite hard to achieve. Hydration, again, as Jules just said a minute ago about drinking water, is really, really key. If you drink more fizzy drinks than water, then that's going to knock your points down. Energy drinks, absolutely the same. And again, please don't go through exams on energy drinks, so they can have an adverse effect.
They actually dehydrate you.
Indeed. E is for exercise, and this is just about going for maybe a walk around the block, a walk around the park, getting outside in nature. It's so good for the soul. So
and that fresh air, beautiful.
Just think about moments in the day where you can raise your heart rate. And we're not talking about going to the gym and pumping weights. If you do that, that is brilliant. But we are just talking about basic exercise. Yeah. The recommendation is around about 30 minutes a day.
Yeah.
And diet is not about going on a diet and losing weight. Again, we just talked about it with the tomatoes and made a joke of that. But eating more fresh foods, healthy snacks, less junk food, less sugary loaded snacks. Yes. And please, guys, my last one I'm going to say on Shed, please don't skip breakfast. If you go into an exam on an empty stomach, your brain is going to be thinking, I'm hungry. It's not going to be thinking about question number 4.
No, and your tummy's going to be rumbling and everybody's going to be watching you. No, they're not. It does happen. But another last one with all of that is try and find yourself little activities that will help you relax, because it is stressful, it is hard, and you've scheduled in your time, you're working towards this, but in that moment when you're having that time to yourself, your protected time possibly, do something like have a hot bath or do something creative.
A little bit of drawing, a little bit of creativity. Yeah. Going on social media isn't always creative, is it?
No.
No. But again, have your little bits of downtime. It is really key.
So that's some fantastic habits. The other thing in terms of habits as well is look for support. Go to friends and family.
Yeah. If you're studying for exams in a conventional education environment, I'm going to guess that you're not the only one going through this. So if you're in school and doing your GCSEs, for example, there's going to be hundreds of other students that are in the same boat as you. So go and talk to them, find out what works for them, find out what doesn't work. Talk to your teachers, talk to your tutors, your lecturers. Remember, these guys are experts. They've been through the process before. They know what works, they know what doesn't work. And get them people on board. We always say if you're the student out there that's maybe not been the best student over the last few years or maybe misbehaved a little bit, then that's absolutely cool if you go to your teacher and say, look, sir, miss, I'm serious now. I want to get back on track. So support of others, and also by supporting others. So if you're good at something and you notice somebody else is struggling, that giving is also really good for your soul and for your mental health and your positivity.
Yes, definitely. If something's really bothering you or you are feeling really stressed and you're panicking about it, talking to somebody will help that enormously and help you mentally, as well as maybe getting some valued support and tips and guidance from those people. But yeah, definitely don't hold it all in. If you're finding it difficult, if you really are struggling, go and talk to somebody. There's always somebody there, always.
Yeah, we've just had a little comment coming on the chat here about a young lady. I'm not going to mention the name, but it says that I was really, really stressed and anxious about my exams, that I found that I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, and I was really, really stressed. This went into my mocks and I really, really badly messed up. And then I got together with 3 other students in school and we formed a study group. This was my idea to go and talk to a couple of friends, and it's really worked to share the problem so we feel ready for our exams. So well done to you for that. That's amazing.
One other thing that is really, really key when we said about organising yourself and setting yourself, saying like this could be your 30-day, 60-day challenge, whatever. Don't set yourself ridiculous high goals. Nobody can revise 10 topics in a day, can they?
Oh no. Would
Not
you
seriously.
want to?
You can have a go at it, but it's not going to stay in there. So avoid trying to do that. Avoid trying to set yourself up for that disappointment already. But make your plan and stick to it. But don't set your goals way, way, way too high.
On the other note as well, don't set yourself a goal to revise no topics in a day.
Obviously.
Obviously. So we've got plenty of support. We've got some creating good habits. We've also talked about organisation. And this is quite key as well, because somebody again has just asked us a question and said, I feel really overwhelmed. What do I do? But this is really our last little bit here, which is about keeping things in perspective, isn't it?
It is, yes. Lots of people will tell you this, and the reason they tell you this is because it's true. And teachers, I'm sorry, but exams aren't everything.
A lot of them know that as well.
But I know that they do that. So whatever happens in your exams, you can still be successful in life afterwards. So I think the key thing is, if you don't do as well, really, as you hoped you would do, keep things in perspective. The exam is just one day in the whole of your life.
Yeah, I'm just going to share a little story, and I'm going to leave everything completely nameless for obvious reasons. But a number of years ago, I was in a school and I was introduced by a assistant head teacher who stood up at the front and said, this guy is going to work with you on some revision techniques. And he said, you need to listen to what he's going to say, because if you fail your exams, that is it. You are going to go nowhere in life. And I found it really hard to deliver that session after that, because this assistant headmaster, I didn't want to disagree with him and say, you're wrong. But I had to bring it round to the students to say, get some perspective on this. What happens if you do your absolute best and fail? And failure is a strong word. Lots of people think failure is opposite to success. But what happens if you fail your exams in the way that you don't get the grades? Let's imagine you have an absolute mental block on the day and you can't remember anything. And this happened to me in one of my exams, and I felt awful afterwards. But nobody will turn around to you and say, do you know what? You're absolutely useless. That is it. Your life is over. You're not going to get anywhere. So there are opportunities out there. If you miss out by a grade or completely mess it up, you have other chances. So please, please, please don't put that pressure on yourself like that teacher put on 200 of his students by telling them this is it. And it was a good school with good students. So I'm sorry, sir, but I still disagree with you after all these years.
2 things I want to say here. After you've done your exam, forget about it. It's done. It's over. There's nothing you can do to change whatever's happened, and worrying it is not going to change the mark. You've done it. Move on to the next thing. But if you are looking towards going to college, into university, or going into a job, people don't just look at your exam scores. They're interested in your attitude, what other transferable skills that you've got, and basically how well you're going to get on with people. So it really isn't the be-all and end-all of everything, is it?
Not at all. Our background in recruitment, training and apprenticeships shows that the majority of interviewers will go for the person they like and they get on with and they connect with.
And will fit in with the team and have those values and, like I say, those transferable skills.
We've seen a 16, 17, 18-year-old with a handful of GCSEs be a graduate before. So qualifications aren't everything.
But that's not saying that don't give it a go.
Yeah, there's one guaranteed result I'm going to finish off and give you. If you do nothing, you are guaranteed to get nothing. So make sure, why do nothing when you can do something? Make sure you do something and work towards it.
So yeah, those are some guides to help you eliminate or hopefully calm your nerves in this run up to your exams and help you work on that if you are feeling stressed and how to keep calm and create those really good habits.
If you want any more tools and techniques, you can go to our website, which is futuretoolbox.co.uk, and you can go to the student zone or the teacher zone or the parent zone, whichever one is relevant to you. You can also go to our YouTube channel, and we're on social media on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok. And also don't forget to listen to our podcast as well. There is a link to that. Thank you everybody for joining again.
Thank you, and hope you found this useful.
Thank you for listening to this recording of How to Eliminate Exam Stress. This is part 1 of a 3-part series. Now listen to part 2, which is called Last Minute Tips to Nail Your Exams. For more information from the Future Toolbox, go to our website, which is futuretoolbox.co.uk.